Jesse Palmer here on the Rich Eisen Show. Our radio audience just returned. Great Clips is bringing Jesse Palmer to us today. Again, there's a nationwide $9.99 haircut coupon ahead of the college football playoff national championship game. And, of course, Jesse's the host of The Bachelorette, which premieres season 22 March 22nd on the Disney family of networks. It is great to see you, man. I really love watching you do what you do and listening to you call these games. Wide open, right? Anybody remaining can win it all, correct, Jesse? Or is it Indiana's to win or lose?
I feel like Indiana's the best team right now. It's funny, man. It's so weird. This is the first time in the college football playoff era that Alabama or Georgia or Ohio State or Clemson are not in the college football playoff. We're not used to seeing this. So there's been a lot of new blood. Indiana's been sensational all year long. Whether you watch the Rose Bowl and you watch them demolish Alabama, or if you'd seen them throughout the regular season, you know just how good you are. How good they are. It's not just that guy there, their quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, Cignetti as a head coach, has just done a remarkable job. Miami's an exciting team to watch right now. I think Miami can win it all. Just the way they're dominating right now in the trenches, running the football with Mark Fletcher, their ability getting after quarterbacks. They've got 12 sacks through 2 playoff games going into this thing. And that matchup with Ole Miss and Trinidad Chamblas, that feels like a coin flip right now too, especially the way after watching Chamblas play this season. We called their playoff game against Tulane in the first round, but his performance late in the game against Georgia, against that defense, I thought was absolutely sensational. And then I just saw Oregon in person a few weeks back at the Orange Bowl. Their defense was absolutely fantastic, phenomenal. They're playing with a ton of confidence and a ton of swagger right now. And that's a rematch with Indiana, a game that was close in the fourth quarter for a couple interceptions by Dante Moore. So yeah, this is going to go right down to the wire, and it does feel like it's anybody's. I think Indiana's the team people should be focused on. I think Miami's playing maybe the best of anybody right now, but 4 fantastic football teams right now.
Well, you've known me, Jesse, for a long time. You know I'm not one of those guys on the air that gets surprised that nobody agrees with my takes, but I did say after the Rose Bowl coming on last Friday that Indiana's the bullies of college football. They are bullying people. And then the pushback that I did see from that did surprise me. I didn't think I was saying anything, on a ledge here, but they're bullying people, man. They're crushing people, and they're seemingly schemed up better, and they're executing better. And we got to get over the fact that Indiana has been, I don't want to call it substandard, but they just haven't been a blue blood for decades, and we just got to get over that right now. Seems like
we do. Yeah. Well, Indiana was an example of that. They have been the last 2 years. Texas Tech this year. I mean, they went to the portal. They had a lot of big splashes, a lot of guys hit, especially on that defensive line. That completely changed their outcome as well. The NIL era, the portal era is changing rosters and talent on teams so quickly now. This Indiana team is not your grandfather's Indiana team. It's not a basketball school anymore. I mean, they're becoming a dominant football program, and it starts with Frank Cignetti and his staff. You're absolutely right. I mean, watching them play this year from a scheme standpoint, they're as laced up, as buttoned up, as prepared every single week. They never get out coached. He has done an outstanding job. And then beyond that, they've gone to the portal and they brought in a lot of talent on both sides of the ball as well. And Rich, to me, they don't look like they have any weaknesses. They can run the ball. Obviously, they can throw it with Mendoza. They're really good on the line. Their defense can stop the run, and they get after you rushing the passer. I mean, there's not a lot of holes in this team. And honestly, a microcosm of just how dominant they are was that Rose Bowl game against Alabama. I guess if you had said to me at the start of the year, hey, they're going to play Alabama, and they're going to beat them in the Rose Bowl. They're going to beat them, Jesse. I would have said, okay, sure. I could see a big physical contest going down to the fourth quarter. I like that. I never saw that coming. I mean, that was all 3 phases, and they just ruined Alabama. And so if you're Indiana right now, you've got to be playing with tons of confidence. You're going to this is going to be a war against Oregon. I'm sure of that. And they're going to earn it. If they go all the way and they win and they beat Oregon, they beat Miami, Ole Miss, whoever they beat, they'll have earned it. But this is as impressive a team I've seen in several years now. They look really, really.
It was a battle in Eugene earlier this year. It was a 10-point Indiana victory. And then there's the Ole Miss situation. I don't know. I mean, that's such a, I guess, a staid phrase here that we say in the business that just you could throw everything into it. But part of me roots for them because of what happened. And with Lane Kiffin, and part of me wants them to prove that they didn't need Lane, because I think that might be what is being utilized right now. Part of me also looks at Miami and says this is a team that many thought didn't deserve to be in at all, right? And I guess they would be, these are the two Cinderella teams, would you say? Because one had a coach leave them, and another one, it's a 10 seed. Like, this is what the College Football Playoff Committee looks for, is a Cinderella story, right, Jesse?
Yeah, Ole Miss is interesting. Being around that team when the playoff was beginning and they were getting ready to play Tulane at home, there was definitely sort of this feeling that they weren't necessarily saying it outwardly, but you could sense they wanted to prove that they were a really good team, even if Lane Kiffin wasn't on the sidelines. They've got a lot of talent. And Lane Kiffin, and with this situation, people do have to remember Lane Kiffin's the architect of it. He's the one who the roster, he went to the portal, he assembled his staff. That's his team. But they didn't want to just identify as that. They wanted to prove people, okay, Lane, if he goes to LSU with Pete Golding as our new head coach, we've got what it takes. We've got the staff, we've got the schemes, we've got the players to go all the way. And I've been really impressed. They're a physical team and they can run the ball. And Trinidad Chamblas late in that game against Georgia,
he's on fire. On fire, man, on fire.
Absolutely out of his mind.
Yep,
absolutely out of his mind. And I remember watching that and thinking, like, God, like he might not get another year of college football if his waiver for eligibility to come back next year doesn't go through. But after this game, he might be a second round pick anyway.
That's right.
Based on how he's playing, like he's playing out of his mind. He made so much money in that game for himself in his future, and they're just playing with a massive, massive chip on their shoulder. And then you mentioned Miami too. And I remember, being with Joe Tessitore, and we were doing a game late in the year. I forget what it was. I think it was the Big 12 championship game. And the whole thing was, is it Miami? Is it Notre Dame? And we went back and forth on that. And we both thought Miami deserved to get in. And so many people got upset that they weren't deserving to get in. But this has been another example, and just goes to show you, for the record, I think both Miami and Notre Dame should have got in. I don't like two Group of Five teams being in.
Yep.
I think Notre Dame should have been in front of JMU. But I mean, when you're hot and you're playing the way Miami is right now, man, and you're peaking at the right time, they at times look unbeatable too.
Is it fair to say? Oh, sorry. Is it fair to say that? Well, Golding in that game, the de facto SEC championship game, right, last week, he kicked two 55-yard field goals. You think Lane would have done that? Because they win by 5. If they go for it and don't get either of them, right? I'm just wondering if Golding brings a different sensibility to the sideline that actually dialed it down at the right time, that actually wound him dialing it up against Georgia. Jesse,
it's a good point, Rich. It's a good question too, and I do know that Pete Golding is different that way versus Lane Kiffin in those critical moments in games where head coaches have to make those critical decisions to go for it on 4th down, to kick field goals, to punt. What do you do? We asked Pete Golding about that, and he had said, Lane was more of an analytics guy, and we'll still look at the analytics, and we always have someone standing by us with all the analytics telling us what we should do. Pete Golding, for whatever reason, is a momentum guy, and he really sort of feels the emotion and the flow of the game. I don't know if that's a defensive coordinator thing or from his background, but that's just how he sees it. And he is a little bit different. And I don't know if that means he's as aggressive or less aggressive. I think it just depends on the situation, but I know he feels it and calls it a little bit differently. And it is interesting. It's obviously nice when you have a kicker like that that's just knocking him through from 55 plus. He would have been good from 65 on some of those kicks, by the way. But yeah, it is a unique difference in their in their coaching styles in those critical junctures and moments.
In a couple minutes I have left with you, Jesse Palmer, I mean, let's dive into the portal here. Listen, I think the kids deserve money. They deserve money. They deserve all that they can get. There's so much on the table. And part of the large reason why is because of their play and their popularity. This is what we watch the games for. But I just have a problem with there being free agency every year, where every year now a coach has got to re-recruit his own players. Roster retention should not be on the minds of every coach remaining in the college football playoffs right now. And it just seems to be out of control. And it's only a matter of time. We already have a litigious situation with what's going on with the Washington Husky program and their quarterback. What's your 2 cents on this development predicament, Jesse?
There just needs to be some kind of reform and some sort of unilateral reform, I think. I think scheduling is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think players should be allowed to be contacted while they're preparing for playoff games. I don't think players should have to leave their team in the middle of a national championship run. I think players, when you sign a contract, I think you have to play there. In the situation in Washington now, where you're re-entering the portal after you've actually physically signed a contract with Damon Williams is obviously very unique. I think players should sign for periods of time.
Yep.
I don't think you should be able to just jump every single year unless your head coach leaves. I think if head coaches leave, I think that's a little bit different. But I think there's a whole litany of things. Should there be a salary cap so that it's even and it's fair? But then how do you enforce that? Some schools can afford more than others. Some schools have richer donors than others. Right now, it is absolutely the wild, wild west, and there does have to be reform. It just can't continue like this.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm looking, just preparing for this interview because I'm a professional, Jesse. Jordan Davison of Oregon is out. He got hurt. The running back is out. And he's among 12 players listed as out for the Ducks for the Friday game against Indiana. 8 of the other 11 are portal transfers. That's why they're out. They've left. They're gone. I mean, could you imagine, man? We've got all these wild card games coming up this weekend. Could you imagine if, say, Will Anderson of the Texans enters free agency and he's not playing for the Texans? It just as an example. It's crazy. This is nuts, man. It's not the way it should be.
No, it's nuts. And so either you got to move the games back earlier into December so you can get the season done. If you want the portal window to open right after January 1st or whatever it is, get those games played. But you've got to change it. You got to change the structure. You're right. I mean, I feel for head coaches right now. I really do, from the sense that, to your point, you're constantly re-recruiting your own guys. It's enough to be recruiting high school players, and now you're evaluating recruiting portal guys, and you've got to continue to convince your own players to stay inside the locker room and not go elsewhere. It's so drastically different from when I played in the late 90s. It's almost a completely different sport and a different thing, and it does have to be tweaked.
All right, before I let you go, let's just say you're getting a haircut with great clips using your coupon, right? How'd you like me just working this in here, right? $9.99 haircut coupon. You go to greatclips.com/football, right? You sit down. Yep.
You are a professional.
Thank you, sir. You're sitting down, and I ask you while you're getting your haircut looking as great as you do, who wins the national championship? Who makes the national championship game, and who wins it all?
I'm going to go out on a limb. I think it's going to be Miami.
Ooh.
I think it's Miami and their ability to run it right now with Mark Fletcher and that D-line and how dominant they've been in the trenches. That's still where I think college football games are won and lost. And I just think they're hot at the right time. I think it's going to be Miami winning at Hard Rock Stadium at home.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And I might have to get an air tag on Michael Irvin and just keep track of him. If that happens.
He'll probably be there. He might not have a belt, but he will be there.
Who do they play? Indiana? They beat Indiana?
It's going to be Indiana. I think it'll be Miami, Indiana. How about that? Yeah, Mendoza coming home to Miami against the Miami Hurricanes. That's actually a great story. Yeah.
Okay. Look at you, storyline guy. All right, let's get you back on before Bachelorette. I'm back here in
Let's do it,
studio.
yeah.
None of this
March,
Zooming
yeah,
things.
we got before March. Yeah, we got time. We'll do it.
Yeah, I'm a Disney guy now. You're a Disney guy. Come on now, let's get it done. It's good to see you, Jesse Palmer.
Well, my friend.
Thanks for the time.
Always great being out with you, dude. You got it.
Right back at you. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Again, courtesy of Great Clips, the nationwide $9.99 haircut coupon ahead of the college football playoff national championship games out there. Go to greatclips.com/football now through January 16th to redeem. Good to see you, brother.
You too, brother.
Jesse Palmer, everybody, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. It's good to see him as he goes off on the rest of his Wednesday.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.